She wasn't supposed to be on that road. Alone. The wind howled across the empty western trail. Dust rose in the air, swirling around the wheels of a broken wagon left abandoned on the side. And in the middle of it, she walked, alone. Her steps were uneven, her breathing shaky. Every few seconds she looked back, like something, or someone, was coming. Her dress was torn slightly from the bottom, her hands trembling, and her eyes full of fear. "I just need to make it out," she whispered to herself. But deep down, she knew. She wouldn't make it. Not alone. Hoofbeats, faint, but real. Her body froze instantly, slowly. She turned. Far behind her, 3 riders, dark figures, moving fast, too fast. Her heartbeat exploded. "No, no, no, no!" She started walking faster, then running, her feet slipping in the dirt, her breath breaking. The riders closed in, laughing, loud, cruel. "She thought she could leave?" one shouted. "Not from us." Her legs gave up for a moment. She fell, hard, dust covering her hands. Tears filled her eyes as she tried to crawl forward. "Please," she whispered. But no one was there. No one. Until a shadow appeared ahead. Still, unmoving, standing right in the middle of the road. The riders slowed, confused, annoyed. "Who the hell is that?" one muttered. The figure didn't move, didn't step aside, didn't speak. The girl looked up, barely able to see through her tears. A man. Tall, wearing a black hat, face hidden in shadow. The riders stopped completely now. Silence. Heavy. Dangerous. "Move!" one of them shouted. No response. Just wind. Just dust. The man finally tilted his head slightly and spoke. Low. Cold. Dead. Calm. "She's not riding with you." The riders laughed. But something about him didn't feel right. Didn't feel normal. The girl's breathing slowed. Not because she felt safe, but because something had changed. The air itself felt different. And then, one of the riders pulled his gun. Bad decision. They didn't stop. They just slowed down. The horses came to a halt. Dust settled slowly around them. But the danger didn't go anywhere. It got worse. The outlaws exchanged looks, not confused anymore, annoyed. "You deaf?" one of them barked. "Move out the way." The man in the black hat didn't move, didn't even blink. The girl tried to push herself up from the ground, but her arms trembled too much. Her eyes were locked on him. Who was he? Why wasn't he afraid? One of the riders smirked. "Looks like we got ourselves a hero." Laughter followed, cold, mocking. But it didn't last long, because the man stepped forward. One step. That was it. And somehow, that one step made the air heavier. The horses shifted uneasily, snorting, sensing something off. The riders noticed it too. "What's wrong with these damn horses?" one muttered. The girl slowly crawled back, trying to create distance. Her heart was still racing. But something strange was happening. She wasn't the only one scared anymore. "You got 5 seconds, the outlaw leader said, pulling his gun halfway. "Then I put you in the ground." Silence, wind passing, dust swirling. The man tilted his head slightly like he was considering something. Then finally, he spoke. "5's too many." The words landed like a warning. Not loud, not aggressive, but final. The outlaws stopped smiling. The leader narrowed his eyes. "You think you're funny?" No response. That calm again. That same dangerous calm. The girl whispered to herself, "Please, don't do this." Because now she understood. This wasn't going to end with words. The leader pulled his gun fully this time. Click. The sound echoed. "You're dead." The other 2 followed. 3 guns, all pointed at one man. The tension snapped. Everything was about to explode. The wind picked up harder, dust swirling around all of them. The man in black adjusted his stance, barely noticeable, but precise. Perfect, like he'd done this before, too many times. The girl's breathing stopped for a second. Her eyes widened, because for the first time, she realized something terrifying. He wasn't standing there to protect himself. He was standing there to end them. And the worst part? He wasn't even trying yet. The leader smirked again, confidence returning. Last chance. The man's hand moved slightly. Not fast, not rushed, just ready. The air froze. 1 heartbeat, 2. Then, a gun fired. They fired first one, and that was their biggest mistake. Bang. The gunshot shattered the silence, but it wasn't his. The outlaw leader pulled the trigger first. Fast, aggressive, confident. The bullet tore through the dust, heading straight for the man in black. The girl screamed. Instinct, fear. She turned her face away, unable to watch. But the sound that followed wasn't what she expected. Another shot, sharper, cleaner, bang, then a thud, heavy, final. The girl's eyes snapped open. The leader was still on his horse. But something was wrong. His expression, frozen, confused, like he didn't understand what just happened. Slowly, his body tilted, then dropped, straight off the horse, hitting the ground with a dull, lifeless sound. Dust rose around him. His gun slipped from his hand. Silence, dead silence. The other 2 outlaws didn't move, didn't breathe. Their eyes locked on the man in black, who now had his revolver raised, steady, unshaking, smoke curling from the barrel. He hadn't rushed, hadn't panicked. 1 shot, 1 kill, clean, perfect. The girl stared in disbelief. Her fear paused, replaced by something else. Shock. The remaining outlaws exchanged a quick look. This wasn't supposed to happen. Not like this. "You idiot!" one shouted at the dead leader. "He baited you!" Too late. Way too late. The man in black slowly lowered his gun, but only slightly. Enough to show control, not mercy. "Leave," he said. Simple, cold, final. The 2 outlaws hesitated. Their grip on their weapons tightened, but their confidence, gone, completely gone. "You think we're just gonna walk away?" one said, trying to sound brave. But his voice cracked, just a little, and that was enough. The man in black took a step forward, the same step as before. Slow, heavy, dominant. The wind picked up again, dust swirling between them. The tension came back, stronger, darker. "You already lost one," he said quietly. Another step. "You want to lose 2 more?" Silence. The question hung in the air. The outlaw's breathing grew heavier, faster, because now they understood something terrifying. This wasn't a fight. This was a decision, and they had already made the wrong one. One of them swallowed hard. The other tightened his jaw. Then, both raised their guns. Together, desperate, angry, afraid. The girl gasped. "No!" But it was too late. The man in black didn't move, not yet, because this time, he didn't need to react. He was already ahead, and they just stepped into it. They still thought they had a chance, and they didn't. The wind roared louder, dust spinning wildly between them. 2 guns, 1 man, and a mistake already made. The outlaws fired. Together, bang, bang. The shots cut through the air, fast, loud, deadly. But the man in black moved, not fast, not frantic, precise. He stepped aside just enough, like he already knew where the bullets would land. The girl watched in disbelief, her breath stuck in her throat. How? Before the echoes of their shots even faded, his gun came up. Smooth, effortless. Bang. The first outlaw jerked violently. A direct hit. Chest. He dropped instantly from his horse, crashing into the dirt. No scream. No second chance, just gone. The second outlaw froze, eyes wide, heart racing. This wasn't real. It couldn't be. He pulled the trigger again, wild this time, panicked. Bang! The bullet missed, far off, worthless. The man in black didn't rush, didn't chase. He walked, slow, toward him, each step heavier than the last. The outlaw's hands started shaking, his gun lowering without him realizing. "Stay back!" he shouted. But his voice, broken. Fear had taken over, complete. The man in black stopped a few steps away. Close enough now. Too close. "You should have left," he said quietly. The outlaw's hand started shaking, his gun lowering without him realizing. "Stay back!" he shouted. But his voice, broken. Fear had taken over, complete. The man in black stopped a few steps away. Close enough now. Too close. "You should have left," he said quietly. The outlaw swallowed hard. His finger trembled on the trigger. For a moment, it looked like he might drop the gun, like he might run. But fear does strange things. Instead, he fired again. Desperation. Bang. The shot missed. Again. Silence. The man in black didn't even flinch, didn't react. Because now, it was over. He raised his revolver. One last time. The outlaw's eyes widened. Too late. Way too late. Bang. The sound echoed across the empty land. The outlaw's body froze and then collapsed, hitting the ground hard, dust rising around him. And just like that, it was done. 3 riders. Gone. Like they were never there. The wind slowly calmed. The dust settled. Silence returned. Heavy. Unreal. The girl remained on the ground, staring, unable to process what she had just witnessed. One man, against all of them, and not even a scratch. The man in black lowered his gun, spun it once, then holstered it, like it meant nothing, like it was routine. He turned slightly, not toward the bodies, not toward the road behind, but toward her. For the first time, there was no threat in the air, only something else, something quieter, something human. He didn't come to stay, but he didn't leave her alone either. The dust finally settled. Silence spread across the empty road. 3 bodies lay still. The horses wandered slowly. Free now, like nothing had happened. The girl sat frozen on the ground, her hands still trembling, her heart still racing, but the fear, it was gone. Slowly, she looked up, at him. The man in black stood there, calm, unmoved, like this wasn't a fight, like it was just another moment in a long, endless road. For a few seconds, neither of them spoke. Only the wind moved between them. Then, he stepped closer, not threatening, not distant, just steady. "You hurt?" he asked. His voice, still low, still controlled, but softer now. The girl shook her head slightly. I don't think so." Her voice cracked. Not from fear anymore, from everything else. Everything she just survived. She tried to stand, but her legs failed. Before she could fall again, he caught her, firm, careful, like he knew exactly how much strength to use. She looked up at him, really looked this time. His face still half hidden under the shadow of his hat, but his eyes, calm, not empty, just distant. "Thank you," she whispered. The words were small, but heavy. He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he glanced down the road ahead. Long, empty, dangerous. "You shouldn't be out here alone," he said. A pause. Then she asked, "Will you leave too?" That question hung in the air, different from the others, not fear, not desperation, something deeper. He looked at her. For a moment, it felt like he might say yes, like he always did, like he always would. But then, he adjusted his coat, looked back toward the road, and spoke. Quietly, clearly, not this time. Her eyes widened slightly, a breath she didn't know she was holding, finally released. He moved toward his horse, untied the reins, then turned back to her. Come on. Simple. No explanation. No promises. But enough. More than enough. She hesitated, just for a second. Then took his hand. He helped her up onto the horse. Careful. Steady. Then climbed up behind her. The sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the land. As the horse began to move, slowly down the road, the wind carried the last traces of dust away. Behind them, only silence remained. Ahead, an unknown path. But this time, she wasn't alone, and as they disappeared into the horizon, the story was already beginning to change. Not a tale of fear, not of escape, but of something else. Something people would whisper about. A man who appeared when needed, and stayed, just long enough. Never alone again. And just like that, they disappeared into the horizon. If you felt this story, if it stayed with you even for a moment, let me know in the comments. Did you like this story? Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more cinematic Western stories like this. And tell me something. What kind of story do you want next? More mystery, more action, or something even deeper? Drop your ideas below, because the next story might be yours.